All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. We're talking about the Las Vegas Raiders in tonight's video. They actually had the day off today, but last night they ripped a late night practice session, and people are freaking out about the quarterback position. We're about to get into it. We heard an insider on the Raiders quarterback competition on Saturday. He said it was very disappointing. He actually had a crazy quote. I think it related to something about a Krispy Kreme donut on his desk was looking better, or could perform better than whoever the Raiders deployed at quarterback for the night. This is all ridiculous to me. I wasn't going to talk about this last night because I live on the East Coast. I'm Eastern Standard Time, and the practice was just a little bit too late. But I keep seeing this stuff all over Twitter, and it's just baffling to me because a lot of people still don't understand. I mean, folks, you're going up against Max Crosby. You're going up against Tyree Wilson, Christian Wilkins, Malcolm Kuntz, the linebackers, the DBs. There's not household names on the defensive side of the thing, outside of like Max Crosby and now maybe Christian Wilkins. But I even think like a dude like Christian Wilkins just kind of is the perfect representation for the Raiders defense, where it's like, you're a football fan or you're a Dolphins fan, but especially if you're a football fan, you try and tell me Christian Wilkins is a bad football player. You try and tell me that the Raiders overpaid for Christian Wilkins. And I just think that's kind of like, it's just kind of close and similar explanation to just the whole Raiders defense. Like, Max Crosby is the household name, and outside of that, people don't really know Jack Diddley, and that's a good thing, in my opinion. But nonetheless, the Raiders still have one of the best defenses in the NFL, so quarterback struggles in a new system do make sense to me. Before we get any further into tonight's video, if you guys enjoy it, be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily Raiders and NFL content. Raiders fans, if we could try and get this video to 100 likes, I would greatly appreciate it. We'll address that headline right here, right now. So I was reading this article on RaidersBeat.com, and the title of it was Insider on the Raiders quarterback competition. Very disappointing. We have Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew, right? But per reports from training camp, there hasn't been a leader who has set himself apart or a step in the right direction or even the wrong direction before probably last night. It's common knowledge at this point in Raiders Nation that Gardner Minshew had a better day than Aiden O'Connell, but we'll get to that in just a second. So here was the insider, Sports Illustrated. That should tell you a little bit about the legitimacy of this claim, but Sports Illustrated insider Hondo Carpenter said this: today, they both equally embraced the suck. It was very disappointing. I'm telling you tonight, a Krispy Kreme donut sitting on my desk would have had a better chance than the offense did against the defense. It was pitiful. So as people who were there at practice last night, or writers or whatever, people are saying Gardner Minshew had the better day than Aiden O'Connell. We do have some statistics here. They're not great. Not great with AOC specifically. We keep hearing about interceptions. I think he had 2 picks on the day. Gardner Minshew had a couple of touchdowns and then an interception. We do have it from Vic Tafur right here. Minshew finishes with 2 touchdowns, 1 to Bryant, 1 to Turner, and 1 interception. 2 interceptions for O'Connell. It's not crazy to me that Aiden O'Connell had a bad practice, or he's had a bad summer, or he had a bad spring, or whatever. What I want to see when it comes to the Raiders quarterback competition, I'm fully aware that Gardner Minshew at this point in his NFL career, and by the way, he should be better than Aiden O'Connell, the guy who started 10 games as the 4th round rookie quarterback after walking onto the Purdue football team many years ago. It's not that shocking that Gardner Minshew, who's like getting close to 30 years old, is a more rounded quarterback than Aiden O'Connell. But for me particularly, and we're about to get into a quote here from Davante Adams that I think puts everything in perspective, this is no concern to me. It's absolutely no concern to me. First things first, I do wish the Raiders had a competent defense and offense at the same time, because it always feels like it's one or the other. And, especially in the Derek Carr era, it feels like the offense was always ahead of the defense. And now it just kind of sucks. Like, okay, hold on. Antonio Pierce, Tom Telesco, and the Raiders defense is top 10. probably closer to top 5 than they are top 10. And a lot of it's a young ass group. And we keep hearing names like Tyree Wilson lighting it up in training camp. He had a phenomenal practice last night from what we've heard, what was reported. But it would be nice to see some consistency from both the offense and the defense at the same time. But at the end of the day, folks, I'm fully aware of the Raiders' situation at quarterback. Even if Aiden O'Connell wins the job or Gardner Minshew wins the job, unfortunately, there are still dudes like Patrick freaking Mahomes in this division. And it's crazy to expect a second-year quarterback or a bridge backup quarterback to be able to, be a team that's predicted or projected to win 12 or 13 games. Like, I'm not getting that far ahead of myself. I will say, I think the Raiders roster, as far as Kansas City goes, I don't think it's far, and I don't think it's far at all. But obviously, a lot has to come down to the quarterback play. So I found it really interesting when Davante Adams, when he was talking about Gardner Minshew and Aiden O'Connell battling it out for quarterback one, I found it very interesting that he compared Aiden O'Connell to Aaron Rodgers, because Davante Adams, don't be fooled, he's still the best wide receiver in the NFL. That probably won't last for too long because Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson are much younger. They're a lot healthier, and they're just not, they haven't been in the league as long as Davante Adams. That's obvious. Davante said he doesn't know who the week one starter is going to be, but he said he's getting comfortable with both AOC and Gardner Minshew. And this is what he had to say. This is from ESPN's Paul Gutierrez. There's pros and cons, but at the end of the day, we've got enough reps with both guys and we're communicating. We have really open conversations and we all get reps with all the quarterbacks. And I'm definitely watching it all times, seeing everything and learning how the ball comes out with Gardner versus Aiden. Adams even compared the relationship he had with O'Connell and Minshew to the one he had with Aaron Rodgers, who he caught passes from for 8 seasons. That's kind of how Rodgers and I used to work. It's not just about the reps that we had in practice, but it was about the communication, the film that we watched together, and just going off of time and the different things that we saw on the field in reps. So I won't say anything about the quarterback position in, certainty until, first off, probably until the season's over, until at least halfway through or around Thanksgiving. But the point is, Aiden O'Connell can have bad practices. He can have bad live scrimmages. He can do whatever the hell he wants. When Aiden O'Connell steps out onto the field during preseason, I think it's all going to be put to bed. I literally think it's all going to be put to rest. Aiden O'Connell, to me, is a performer. He's a gamer, and he's going to do what he needs to do to get the job done. And if he ends up losing the job to Gardner Minshew, we'll have that conversation. But I'm going to hold off on my training camp judgment of Aiden O'Connell until he steps out onto the football field. All right? That's just me. Let me know what you guys are thinking. Let me know who you think the starting quarterback is going to be week 1 for the Las Vegas Raiders. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you had a great weekend, and we will see you tomorrow at practice. Peace.